Oh, because I saw this article. I said this is the exact perfect time to see this article, because I've been seeing a lot of discourse recently about whether you should or shouldn't drink water, and my answer is you should, because water's healthy for you. You see how on my face I ain't got no crazy like bumps and stuff like that. My face is not all red, my face is not all fucked up. It's because I drink a lot of water. I eat a lot of healthy foods. I'm not out here eating excess salt and sugar every day. When I eat my ramen, I drain out some of the water, or I don't drink all of the water, so that I'm not getting a crazy amount of salt in my system. Go ahead, get you a cup, a bowl, a bottle, something like that. Drink you some water. Pause the video, or take the video with you. Go get up, get you a container that can contain hydrogen, that can contain 2 hydrogens bond to some oxygen, and sip it with me. Sip it with me and sync in unison. Take your water shot. I'm looking at you, bitch ass nigga. Get up. Drink your water. Anyway, speaking about controversies, another controversy that I recently seen was there's a lot of people arguing about if Overwatch is better than Marvel Rivals, if base 2016 Overwatch or current Overwatch is better, and which one is better than Marvel Rivals, blah blah blah. But one thing I like to do here on my stream is I like to spit on the corpses of companies that don't listen. Because if a game fails and it's not their fault, or if it's something outside of their control, I won't get mad at them. Like, for example, with Rivals of Aether, a lot of y'all might think I hate Rivals of Aether. A lot of y'all might think I think Rivals of Aether is a trash game, and you would be absolutely fucking right. That game is unfinished, and any game that releases unfinished is fucking garbage to me. But I would also be a liar if I was to sit up here and say that I've never had a lick of fun playing Rivals of Aether 2. But I also, on a journalistic tip, if I have fun with the game or not, I should say that, which I do. I did. I said, hey, game is fun, but it's not finished, and I gotta be fair. If this was anybody else, I will point that out. I will be like, yo, this shit is not fucking finished. Rivals of Aether delusionists hopped in my comments and fucking yelled at me for 2-3 days straight, calling me a dumbass, an idiot, saying I'm inconsiderate because they didn't meet their stretch goals. And this kind of goes back to what I was talking about yesterday. What I was saying, like, I get that they didn't meet their stretch goals and all of that, but like, respectfully, whenever you make art, don't nobody give a fuck about your process to make art. We just care if it's good or not. Nobody gives a fuck if Pablo Picasso dipped the paintbrush in his ass or in a cup. Did the painting that he make look good? That's what people care about. Now, I'm not talking about in terms of art collectors. Art collectors will buy ugly shit just because it retains value. But in terms of like buying, in terms of enjoying art and looking at art and saying, yes, I enjoy that, yes, I enjoy this, people don't care how the art was made as long as it comes out great. All right? Now, going to roping that back into the Overwatch conversation. Nobody cares about the fact that Overwatch is adding 6v6 and all of this, because Overwatch fucked themselves over by taking it out the game in the first place. A game like Concord, where they just put forth a good product and market and circumstances around them clip their wings. That's an example of a game where I will say the game was objectively good, but it failed because everything else around it, outside factors besides the core quality of the game, sucked. From last year, Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. Another example of a freaking amazing game that belly flopped. Def Jam Vendetta. Another example of a great game that belly flopped. Okami. Onimushi. Well, I don't want to say Onimushi because that game got like 4 parts, but Okami. Another example of a game that notoriously belly flopped despite being an amazing freaking game. There's examples of this all over gaming history, and those are just some that comes to the top of my head. But Overwatch is not like those. Because all of the reasons why Overwatch failed is due to the extreme incompetence of Blizzard staff. Not only the extreme incompetence. Another reason why this game failed is because the extreme nastiness of them niggas in the head boardroom. A lot of them people in them Blizzard head positions was freaky ass niggas. And I don't mean that in a good way, like, oh, they doing freak shit with their girlfriend. No, I mean like they was out here sexually harassing the women in the workplace. They was out here grabbing women by the cooter wooter in real life. Okay, that's what I mean when I say the nastiness, the freaky frogginess. Not saying it in a good way at all. So like those two things are like some of the bigger factors as to why Overwatch is a shit butt ass game. Okay, that's why I feel and have no problem spitting, stomping, pissing, shitting, and crying and laughter, of course, on Overwatch's grave that I'm continuously watching them dig. If we were in the platform like that movie that was on Netflix, where the idea of the platform, for those of y'all who ain't watch it, in simple, everybody was in this jail, and the idea was that you were in this jail and you spent a month on different floors, but there's a big ass hole in the floor and there's a literal platform that goes up and down that has food. Everybody in there has to eat the food from the same platform. So if you're on the first floor, that means you get first dibs. If you're on the third floor, that means you get third dibs. And there was over 300 floors in this place. So think of it as Blizzard. They were on the first floor for a very long time, for a good while. And while everybody else was getting their food, instead of being polite and just taking a little bit of food, eating that, letting the platform go down and let the next set of people eat, what they did is they ate off the platform. They said, this is good. Then they took a piss all over the food. They took a poop. They said, smeared it all over the food and said, aha, everybody gotta eat that. Now they're on the 50th floor and they got 49 floors full of people above them who had their food pooped on and peed on by Overwatch this whole time. And now they're all looking down like, oh, you were on the first floor, but now you on the 50th. You know what's gonna happen, right? All them people below you, they gonna hate you after we done. If they don't already hate you, they gonna hate you some more after we done. I know I went into a little tangent, but I really fucking hate this. I hate how bad Overwatch got done to themselves by fucking Blizzard. I don't feel no way about Blizzard. Fuck them niggas. Fuck them niggas for being freaks and fuck them niggas for fucking up a game I love. We're extending the 6v6 playtest. Bitch, this is not a playtest. Like I've been saying for a very long time, a lot of these developers are use words like playtest, demo, beta, alpha as marketing tactics. It's a fucking playtest for something that everybody who downloads the game can access. That's not a playtest, my nigga. That's a live mode that you're just calling a playtest. Like I said, for marketing purposes, because you want people to feel like they got cool, exclusive access to something that's going away if you don't play it now. We're not downloading your shitty ass software. The game director of Overwatch 2 strokes his meat in his office as he demands his workers to do some freaky shit while he stokes the flames that 6v6 will make an official comeback someday. I don't know why they're saying someday like this beta test or what was the dumbass term they used for it? Oh, that this 6v6 playtest that literally everybody walking the earth can access is a fucking playtest that may or may not come back. Shut your dumb ass up. Most of the arguments about why Overwatch free-to-play update should return to 6v6 and abandon 5v5 are filled with nostalgia, when in reality, both versions have benefits and issues. I feel like the benefits of 6v6 heavily outweigh the issues of 6v6, but you know, don't tell that to one of these in a closet Overwatch niggas that are just in their Overwatch corner and just yelling at the corner. They're in their little Overwatch echo chamber yelling at other people who just dick ride Overwatch for no fucking reason. Like, boy, this is a corporation. This shit suck. Get the fuck off this game and play something different. The plus side to 6v6 was that tanks had more freedom, as one could hold down the fort while the other flanked alongside DPS for kills, which is a thing you can do in Marvel Rivals. Get the fuck off Overwatch. The queue time, you could have just said the queue times. What the fuck do you need? But the queue times were longer. Fights often felt like walking through wet cement because there were more enemies to kill, and players were held hostage by metas like double shield, which wasn't fun for anyone. What do you mean by anyone? Because I feel like a lot of the reason why a lot of these metas become unfun is because y'all are listening to the vocal minority of niggas that hop on this game every day and are wiping their brow constantly on their fucking 2-view stream like me because they're sweating thinking they're finna go pro. You're not, low bro. It's like, bro, like if you listen to crybaby competitive niggas, a lot of games will sound like they're broken beyond repair. Like if you listen to crybaby sweats for Smash Bros, they'll have you thinking that Steve is just as bad as a fucking Bayonetta or a Meta Knight, when in reality Steve is just a really freaking good character. So it's like, or even with NBA 2K, you listen to NBA 2K sweats, they'll tell you every year that this game sucks, that this game, it has done it, well, they're dick riders. They're gonna tell you the game is great because they're remembering something from like 10 years ago. They're remembering the memories and they had in social settings and like 2K16 or something like that. But every time they'll tell you, oh, 2K is not good this year, 2K is broken, but then you look at their game library and the latest 2K got 100+ hours. And they're sitting on the game all day on Twitter online crying, the game is broken, the game is broken. The developers try and fix it. They say, no, it's not good enough to be the way that I want it. So whenever you whenever you listen to crybaby competitive niggas, that's exactly the type of answers you gonna get. Crybaby, hyper-focused, competitive, sitting in a chair with a bottle taped to their leg and a straw going up to their genitalia with a plastic bag wrapped around their butt just in case, just because they didn't feel like getting up to go get another diaper out their closet in case they gotta poop themselves mid-game. Like, when you listen to those people, you're gonna get a certain type of opinion that majority of the people in the player base are not going to share. Most of the arguments about why, no, I read that already. Even so, Blizzard decided to introduce a series of playtests exploring how 6v6 would work in Overwatch 2, a game that has been designed around having 5 players on a team and only 1 tank for almost 2 years now. Yeah, because tanks were the problem. I've played a bit of this 6v6 mode, you fucking dunce. And it's alright. It's each to their own when it comes to 6v6, but I didn't find it particularly fun or inspiring. Because you've been playing in 5v5 brain mode, so that's what you're used to. Number 1. Number 2, Overwatch 2 in general is just not fucking fun. Well, excuse me, Overwatch free-to-play update is not fucking fun because they took every element of that game that was fun and they crushed it up into a little can. And then they shoved it in a trash can and they just started stomping on it. It's vadoof, 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 vadoof. With maximum power, just stepped on it and crushed it and just threw it all away and destroyed it. Anyway, instead, I just had one more player to heal or kill. The team fights were slower and pushes relied more on ultimates than kills or flanks. Oh, you mean the cool moves that are supposed to change the tide of battle? Anyway, the team fights were so with lower HP and scaled down abilities. I felt like cannon fodder. I felt more like cannon fodder than the keystone of my team. Maybe you just weren't that guy then. I don't know what to tell you. For those who do enjoy it or haven't tried it out yet, there's a little more time on the clock. There's not a little bit more time on the clock because, spoiler alert, I don't know if you know this, but they're gonna keep that fucking mode. That mode's not going anywhere. They're saying and they're telling you, oh, we're not sure. We're just testing out 6v. Nigga, 6v6 is staying. Don't let them fool you with this playtest bullshit. And even if they do take 6v6 out, don't worry, it's coming back real soon. They're just taking it out long enough for you to scratch your veins and say, I want it, to make you hop back on the game. Because we've been over this. Overwatch is literally just abusing y'all at this point. You know what Overwatch is doing? Overwatch is doing the video game company equivalent of, I give you what you want. I don't give you shit. I don't do nothing until you threaten to leave. Until you threaten to leave me, I don't give you nothing. Only time, like, imagine your partner, only time they want to have sex with you is when you say, I'm breaking up with you, I'm about to leave. All of a sudden they start getting horny. They start rubbing your arm, rubbing your thigh, like, sure you want to leave? Like, yeah, I want to leave, but I really want to leave. And then you sit down and get some head, and all of a sudden y'all in a relationship again. 5 minutes ago you was determined to hell and back to break up with them, but now because they rubbed your thigh a little bit, gave you a kiss on the cheek, and rubbed your meat, made you a little bit, all of a sudden y'all in a relationship again. Same fucking thing here. They're gonna take it away. If they do take it away, they're gonna take it away until people say, you know, fuck this shit, I'm out, I'm going to play Marvel Rivals. Then they're gonna throw it back in suddenly and be like, I know you want it. Like, no bitch, no I don't. No I don't. That's why I stopped playing the shit one season in. You know we want the fucking PvE you promised, bitch ass nigga. There's a little more time on the clock for the city. We're extending playtest due to continued player interest and excitement for the mode. The player count jumped up when we introduced this, so we're gonna keep it. Starting tomorrow, the 6v6 will move to the arcade. It will be available until mid-season, then transition to a 6v6 open queue format. Min 1, max 3. What did I just tell you? That shit ain't going no. Get the fuck out of my face. Stop lying to yourself, bitch ass nigga. Min 1, max 3. I don't give a fuck about the details of the mode because I ain't gonna play it. It's certainly an interesting premise. No, it ain't. But the same players who have been calling for 6v6 to be added to Overwatch free-to-play update don't seem very interested in these temporary playtests. They just said that, you just said like a paragraph ago that they're gonna make this shit permanent, but you know, temporary playtest. Sick, but until it is in competitive, it's not a full mode in my opinion. Shut your goofy ass up, nigga. You gonna play the game anyway. You talking about competitive. Don't nobody who casually plays the game talk about competitive for the game. Nigga, you're addicted to Overwatch. Go to rehab, pussy. Other platforms also seem convinced that, other players also seem convinced that 66 should be added to competitive play. Don't know why you would want to sweat in Overwatch. But that's a monumental task that sees Blizzard unravel all the work made to balance and enhance 5v5 over the last few years. Look what that's gotten them. Nostalgia can be nice, but blah blah blah, bro. This game ain't never coming back. This game, Overwatch will never have a second where we could throw our hands in the sky and say Overwatch is back. You know why? Because most of the Overwatch player base, statistically speaking, is playing Marvel Rivals. The only people on that fucking game are the people yelling loud as fuck in the echo chamber, with all the other people yelling the same shit as them loud as fuck in the echo chamber. Overwatch is a better game. I'll never hop over Overwatch. Watch. We don't want to hear your opinions, nigga. Like I say, I don't never want to hear the opinions of niggas that buy less than 5 new games a year. If you can't do a game spread with all the games you brought in a year, I don't want to hear from you. Excuse me. Let me drink some water. Fuck it. Talking about it. That's battle. Shoot. If you want to assassinate the idea that your skin could look messed up, go ahead and get you some water. Take a shot with me, gang. Assassin's Creed Shadows adding the ability to go prone has prompted a rethink of the series' usual controls. Not all surfaces are now climbable either, which is a mind fuck and mind blowing me, because one of the things that I've always said about Assassin's Creed since Syndicate and Unity is that the controls for this game have been fucking ass. Now, the last Assassin's Creed that I played at all was Valhalla. So whatever Assassin's Creed came out since 2020 or 2021, when that came out, I don't know how they've done in terms of reworking the controls since then. But I remember even Valhalla had this problem where, and it was not as bad as Unity and Syndicate, but I do remember Valhalla had this problem where in Assassin's Creed Unity, you would press the A button to do something, Ezio would try and jump while sitting down at a chess game and hop into a hay bale fucking 5 feet away all at the same time, because the controls in that game were so ass, and they were context dependent, but the context that it depended on was so what's the word I'm looking for, like they were context dependent controls that had a hard time understanding context. And that's just the nature of the game, of how the game is, because it's not only was the game a platformer, but it was like a platformer with a lot of mini games and a lot of stuff all over the place. Because remember, Ubisoft games, all right, we got a map here. Okay, this map looks beautiful. Sir, why are you eating exorbitant amounts of food? Don't worry, let me cook. Sir, you should really stop eating that excessive amount of food before you... There you go. There you go, that's the map. That's the map for the game. You're welcome. Go ahead, take a picture of that. Scan it in, put it in the game. All them Ubisoft maps be looking like they threw up stuff all over the screen. It just be stuff all over the screen, and it'd be the same fucking mission over and over. Be the same boring ass mission where you're walking through a crowd like this, quietly, like no thank you. Or it'd be a mission where you go somewhere and you just raw ooga booga beat the shit out of a bunch of people. No thank you. Excuse me. So like that's a general problem that's always been in Assassin's Creed, and I wonder, like, this headline made me say, like, ooh, are they cleaning shit up? Are they making the game control more smoothly now? I don't know, but maybe we'll get our answer, because apparently in a blog published today that goes into detail on Shadow's parkour system, developer Ubisoft noted that Assassin's Creed's franchise typical crouch and dodge buttons have been swapped. Why? This change is due to the mapping of the prone ability to the same button as crouch. That makes sense. Which now sits on the button on a standard box controller. Tapping now makes your character crouch, while holding will make you go prone. Why can't you just make it double tap? Holding, I don't want to hold to go prone, but that may just be the Call of Duty Omni movement poisoning me. Anyway, the ability to dodge, roll, and drop down while parkouring is now mapped to the B button instead. In Shadows, dodge has been merged with parkour down mechanics. The fuck does that mean? Which unlocks a whole bunch of new parkour moves. I mean, yeah, parkour is cool and all, but in this game, I'm more worried about if it'll be... Oh, bitch. There was a damn breakdown this whole time. I don't know, it was just like a 12-second joint. We'll mute it. Ooh, that looks cool. That looks cool as fuck. You could backflip off that and just stab him in the throat. That looks fire. Wait, what did it say? Let me read that first one. This new mapping also disconnects stance switching, e.g. standing, crouching, prone, from parkour, ensuring you can use any stances without accidentally going down a rooftop where you don't want to. Okay, so it's more of a quality of life thing. I haven't played the last few Assassin's Creed games, so if I do end up eventually playing Shadows, I'll see if it's fire or not, but I don't know. Right now, I'm neutral about it. I don't really feel bad, like, oh my god, ew, get this out of here. But I don't necessarily feel great, like, oh my god, this is the change we've been waiting for. Like, nah, the controls still sound overcomplicated as fuck. This new mapping also, blah, blah, blah. Many traditional Assassin's Creed parkour moves return as expected, including the ability to perform a recovery roll. So basically, you can tech roll again. The ability to climb down has been augmented by another flashier option to perform a directional dodge over a ledge. Nigga, is that a Smash Bros mechanic you're implementing? If you're high enough to take fall damage, an additional prompt when parkouring downwards will be required. Of course, the franchise's handy hay bales are still present to cushion your fall in certain spots. Okay, let's see what's going on. That just looks like the motherfucker dropped in a hay bale. Am I missing something? Backward roll and safety drop. Okay, they go down, bow, bow, drop down, jump into a hay bale. Nigga, that looks like the same old Assassin's Creed. What the fuck are you talking about? Finally, here's a look at Shadow's protagonist, Naui, demonstrating the new prone position. You can, of course, assassinate enemies while prone. Okay, cool. Let's look at it. Stab their ankles. Ankle stab, dick stab. Can you drag the body though? That's what I really want to know. Shit popping up at 480. Put this bitch in 2K. Run that back. Stab them ankles. Stab that chest. Just leave the body in the middle of the road. Let's fucking. One other big change within Shadows is that only some surfaces will be climbable. This is a change to how various recent Assassin's Creed entries have let you scamper all over cliffs and up sheer rock faces, influenced in part by Shadows' addition of a grappling hook. Okay, so it makes sense. Because if it has a grappling hook and then Naui is supposed to be more agile and more of the character that plays in a platformer, sneaky assassin type of way, where not Naui, what's the other dude name? Yasuke is supposed to just walk straight down hallways and just bow, knock people upside the head, so he's not really going to be parkouring. So most of the sneaky assassin parkour stuff is going to be Naui. The fuck with that. Influence, In short, it means you'll need to look more carefully for surfaces that have physical handholds. I mean, like we've been doing for like the last 10 Assassin's Creed games. This is a pretty big deal for us. Says this means we had to be more thoughtful about creating interesting parkour highways and afforded us more control about where now we can go. You already had interesting parkour highways in all the previous Assassin's Creeds that I've played at least, so I don't know what the fuck happened. I heard Mirage, like the parkour was very limited and he was a fat fuck that couldn't jump on anything, but the Assassin's Creed I know and love, like the parts of it at least that I know and love, you always had interesting parkour highways, so I don't know what the fuck you're talking about creating interesting parkour highways. Like you need to do something different in that department. And afforded us more control about where now we can go and where Yasuke can't, making our two play styles even more contrasted. Is this big ass black guy, 6'2" black guy in some fucking armor. I would be very surprised if I saw that nigga climbing up a wall, which is one of the problems that I, as well as a lot of other people, had with goddamn Valhalla. Assassin's Creed Shadow will finally arrive on February 40, blah, 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 blah. That's just them giving general information about the article. Overall, I will say this was a informational article that somewhat turned out to be a nothing burger because this shit don't look different. This looks like the exact same game. Now, you see how I went from high energy talking about Marvel Rivals to now I'm talking about Assassin's Creed Shadow and I sound high-key depressed. Anyway, let's go from talking about that depressing ass subject to talking about how the OG Fallout lead, Tim Kaine, dusted off a trove of his old development photos dating back to 1994 to show what development looked like back in the 90s. Yeah, I did. Alright, in a recent video on his YouTube channel, so this is just summarizing a fucking video. I thought this was like an article exclusive. If the video is not too long, I'll watch it on stream, but if it is 13 minutes, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and watch that off stream. And as y'all can see, I'm a real nigga. I'm already survived to Timothy Kaine. And I say I really fuck with this Fallout lore shit. I really mean it. I really fuck with this Fallout lore shit. Yeah, we're gonna exit out of that article.